Hi there my ADV riding friends, and welcome back again to the channel. Today we have two things here. I'm preparing somewhat for a 4-day ride with friends to the county of Dalarna and Värmland in Sweden, and I hope it will be an epic adventure ride with this team of fun guys. The coming video of course. But I need to check the tension of my chain, and I'm also going to show you a little bit how I choose my toolkit for the trip, so to speak. Maybe you have seen my tool roll build up in an earlier video that I made before with a really nice toolkit that I have. It is the Pinner tool roll. Weighs in about 2.8 kilos, and it's very complete for a garage tear down of the bike, so to speak, with the Moto Hansa tools in this Mosko Pinner tool roll. But today I have some lightweight tools that I want to show you that I could build up in my backpack instead, that doesn't weigh as much as this kit, but it could almost do the same things. I will show you some lightweight tools from the Rolling Mavericks that you could alternate or complement or change something in this tool roll, or just build a new kit for trail riding. So let's dig into this backpack. For what I have in this tool roll completely, you need to check a video up in that corner or something. So this is the Mosko Wildcat backpack. It's the 8 liter. The thing is, I could bring this 2.8 kilo do it all kit, or I could bring a slightly smaller kit and more lightweight kit. This is an organizer for tool in this compartment of the backpack. You know, it's hydration and so on in here. I could make a review of that later. Alright, so this is what I have fitted into the backpack. First, to begin with, it is the original KTM toolkit. Looks pretty much like this. And it's a set of very handy bits that pretty much tear down the whole bike together with this one. The KTM original kit also included spanners, but very cheap ones. Included in this kit I have the Rolling Mavericks trail stand. It's an enduro trail stand. It's actually pretty cool. In this little bag you have parts to the kit and some spares as well. It's a very cool little trail stand. You just do like that, and then you take the stand, your foot, put it right there. Then you have the elongation part. Put in that one. It's really nice O-rings in here that keeps this together. Then you also have this lock pin, yet that you can choose the height of this trail stand. And you see, you have half the length of the pin, locking pin hole, to the length of this adjusting part of the trail stand. That makes it so you have many options to adjust what length you need to lift your bike. I will actually tension the chain on the bike, so I will show you how to use it. Okay. Could really recommend this one actually. I bought it from Rolling Mavericks, will use it later. I got in contact actually with Rolling Mavericks and then wanted me to try out some other tools from them because they saw that I have a pretty heavy kit. So what they actually recommended was the Japanese Asahi tools. It's very lightweight tools. Very purpose made for bikers. And the thing is that these 4 spanners combines, instead of a ring on each side, the open ends that combine different sizes. So you could go down to a few tools instead of have these ones that weigh much more, even if these are really great that you get in the Moto Hansa kit with the spline drive. I could really recommend these as well. Also very nice and snug quality tools, but these are a lot lighter. So for 100 grams I could do the same thing from almost whole of that spanner kit that I have from Moto Hansa, and that weighs in about 300 grams, those that can do the same thing at these ones. I also could remove the rear axle, of course, with this kit, but combined with these tire irons or tire levers, together with the axle nut size, I have the 32 on my KTM, so I could use this one on both front and rear end. I also have an aluminum insert for 17 millimeters. I do not really need that on my bike, what I know when I walked over it, but someone else could. It's a very common size, and it's a 27 millimeter on that one, because I don't need 32 and 32. Someone else might need this one on the trail, but I need 2 tire levers. This weighs nothing, also from Rolling Mavericks. And also one thing that doesn't weigh anything at all, it's a bead body, so to speak. You use this on the rim when you put on your tires. It works like a third hand. You can Google how to use a bead body and you will see that this is a very handy thing to have. I also have a super small screwdriver. In the handle it includes sets of screwdriving heads of different sizes. This is for like glasses and repairing electronics like your phone and such like that. Nothing to really wrench on the bike, but maybe on your GPS or navigator or whatever that could break, you need to change something. This kit weighs in about, let's say, 800 grams. I could get it down to like 600 grams with only the basics. I could pretty much tear down the complete bike with this kit, except from changing spark plug or lifting the spark plug, and that is not really good if you drain your bike in water, to not be able to do that, which I could with this kit. So we could dig into that. Please comment on that as well. Would you go to an adventure like this weekend that I have reported that could be very wet, some of the trails, without be able to remove the spark plugs? But it's very handy, doesn't really feel the weight in the backpack. It's, as I said, between 600 and 800 grams. This kit, depending how I configure it, weighs pretty much nothing. But let's elaborate on this a little bit, because these are not really sexy, you know. So pretty heavy each one of these bits, and this one is very plastic, and they don't really lock into these either. There is a spring-loaded ball here, but there's not a receiver inside these bits, so just like there is a resistance or friction, but nothing more than that. So I often end up in losing this one on the grounds. So yeah, don't really like that. But this small kit with bits pretty much tear down the complete bike, and this handle makes most of it, I would say. Why do I bring these ones then? Because to tension the chain you need it. You need it for this 14 millimeter to, I think it was, to if you want to drain the oil, for example, could be handy to be on the road and so on. And this handle with a 6 millimeter hex, you could remove the tank. You can also adjust the rear spring load. Okay, but I could change something here, definitely, and that is if I remove this. Oh fuck, you see? Even that wasn't good. I could remove those and include this in the kit instead. These are parts from the Moto Hansa kit. It's a set of bits that pretty much do everything on the bike plus more. I also have the 6mm insects or hex head here, or hex bit here to remove the tank or adjust the rear spring. And the nice thing is this works like a T-handle. It's so cool. So it does the same thing actually as this one, but with a lot better feeling. A lot better feeling. So I think I actually will have it like this instead, kitted in the backpack. Really nice kit of tools that you can do pretty much anything with. And this weighs actually, I think it's 130 grams more than this kit. So that's what you get. So when I told you this weighs in about 800 grams, it actually is with this configuration instead of 600 grams. So what do you say about that instead of 2.8 kilos? But you will miss a lot of things here. I cannot use this one if I don't get an adapter to handle this one. But I also know that the spark plugs are pretty deeply mounted in this engine. So to do that, I would actually like to have the tools in that kit. That's the dilemma. You can't do everything. Tell me what you think about this kit. Of course, I also have this included, the ones to this tire repair kit as well. Let's do some service work on the bike with this kit. Okay, we could use this so you see how I use this as well, because I will lift the rear end of the bike. I didn't tell you, but included in the Enduro trail jack stand from Rolling Mavericks, you also get this. It's a Velcro strap, and that is made to apply your front brake like this. Really handy. Nice. So when you apply this Enduro trail jack stand to the bike and lift the rear end, depending on what lifting point you use here, you need to adjust this to be 5 centimeters higher than the point that you're going to apply it to and have it to rest on. I could either have it to rest under the foot peg here, or I could rest it on the swing arm. Probably easier to let it rest on the swing arm here, but I will actually try to put it there because I like that one. When I have the front brake applied that I showed you, it just lift the bike somewhere. You could push it a little bit, lean it over to the front end. You don't have to be very strong to do this at all. You just tip it to the front end and you apply the stand like this. Whoop. Like that. We have lifted the bike. Who needs a center stand with a nice trail stand? All you guys that have a 790 or 890 knows that to check your chain tension, you need to look for where you have the chain slider in the rear end, and that is there. You will feel it where it ends. So you go back 2.5 centimeters or pretty much 1 inch back here, and there is where you're lifting the chain. The chain needs to be tensioned on the upper end. Oh, you also need to be in neutral. So 1 inch back, you lift it there. And I have not adjusted this at all, and it could reach the swing arm here, and that's not good. So we need to tension this, and you don't need to over tension it, really. The spec says 1 inch back, and you should have a gap 2 to 5 millimeters under this swing arm with the chain at that position. So you loosen up the lock nut, okay, both sides. So you need a 13 and a 10. Okay, so now you need to you have measures here that you need to look at. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4. So I do 4 on the other side. So we could do 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. I think we're pretty much there. 8 strokes on each side, or turns. Take one more, I think. Right, so now I am somewhere between 2 and 5 millimeters with gap, and that is 2.5 centimeters after this plastic chain slider on the underside. I think that will be good. Now the response of the bike will be a little bit nicer, it will be a little bit quieter. While you're at it, you could also spray the chain if you want to, if it's clean, nice, or just to keep it quiet. Not really to grease it, because it's already greased where it should be. But you could make it a little bit quieter doing so. Before you tighten this up, be sure to look at these measures here, so it's equal on each side, and they are. Right guys, this pretty much sums it up. Please comment on this little chain tension and toolkit video, another toolkit video. And remember, be sure to look at the other one that I have if you want to see the complete toolkit that I have, that you could have on rides that you really need to rely on yourself, and a complete kit of parts that you need. You can also elaborate on what you also need. You need something to tow the bike with. You also may need 2 shorter wires, so you could jump start the bike or repair wiring on the bike as well. One thing that I also forgot to mention is that I always bring a multi-tool with me. Either it's this Leatherman Super Tool, really handy to do a lot of things with, or I actually use a super nice Swiss tool. I like it in both ways. The pliers are nicer at this one, but the Swiss tool had other things that I really like on that one, and included a bit kit on that one as well. So I think a kit like this, I didn't count this into the weight, because I always carry it on travels and so on, so it just adds, makes no difference. All right, no small coffee. I really needed one for now. I don't know why I forgot it. I shouldn't have forgot it. So yeah, I just need to ride back home and continue packing up for that 4-day adventure ride with some cool friends out there from both Norway and Sweden, up in Dalarna and Värmland in a few days. So see you on the next one. Have a good time and be sure to tool up.